There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Imagineers Disney Podcast. I am your host, Matt, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend and co-host, Susie.
Hi. Hi.
How are we? We doing all right?
Yeah, doing really good. This is our first show back since I was out of town over the weekend, and I feel recharged, ready to go. It's my favorite time of year. I'm all happy.
Tell us again, why were you out of town?
It was my birthday.
It was my birthday. Happy belated birthday to Susie.
Thank you. Yeah, so we just went north a little bit to Savannah. Spent a lot of time walking around. It's a beautiful city.
Savannah is really wonderful.
Yeah, we went to Wormslow, walked around there for a bit, looked at some of the stuff, went to a few little museums, did a little shopping, a lot of eating.
And where did you eat?
We ate dinner at the Old Pink House.
Yes, it's my favorite place ever.
Oh, it is so good. So Savannah,
I love the Old Pink House.
Oh, it was so good. And our waiter was like telling us ghost stories, which just fits into the season and even tonight's episode with spooky things. Because it's like a 200 and something year old building. It's awesome. And then I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian, but there's an awesome vegan restaurant in Savannah that I love too. So yeah, just really refreshed. I'm feeling it. How about you?
Doing all right. I mean,
okay.
I had a good weekend, but obviously not as good as you going to the old Pink House. So
yeah,
last time we were there, what? Go ahead.
I didn't know you were such a fan.
Oh, I'm a huge fan. Like,
we'll have to all do a little trip up there. You and the girls and me and me.
Yeah. Your mom, she's cool.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's not listening.
No, yeah. Last time we were there, we actually we didn't order anything off the menu. We did. I guess the chef had very special things prepared for that day, so we just ordered those.
Nice.
And I specifically remember the appetizer was sweet corn and lump crab hush puppies, and they were amazing.
We didn't get that one yet. We got a couple. The fried green tomatoes appetizer, of course, we got, and a portobello mushroom thing, and like cheese board. And it was just all so good.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway,
so, we do Disney, but since we're both travel agents now, I mean, we got to give shout outs to really great places. And
yeah, absolutely.
Savannah is really great. So
special. It's one of my favorite places. If I had to live anywhere else, I don't know anything about it except the food is good and it's cute. So that's all you need. So I'd move.
It's been great. So anyway, well, it's been a busy day in the Disney world.
Mm-hmm.
Not Disney World, but
the world of Disney.
The world of Disney. Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's Disney's universe. We're all just.
So we know that Disney World is open. Disneyland is not. And there have just been some restrictions set in place by the governor of California that have been restrictive on a lot of things. And just recently, they actually sent a team from California to Disney World to, I guess, kind of get a lay of the land and see how Disney World is operating and what they can learn from them and see how it's done. And I'm like, oh, this is really great. There's going to be some progress.
Yeah.
And then they go back and essentially nothing has changed.
Yeah. And I think it was even today, before these restrictions and things that we're going to get into, the governor of California tweeted 2 weeks. That's all he said in a tweet. And so everyone's like, what's going on? And then this drops and it's like, we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. They laid out their plan. And I think the gist of it is, there are a couple of different categories of theme parks. Obviously, there are some smaller family run places that are not like Disney World, but they do have attractions that are going to have the opportunity to open before Disneyland, and Disneyland will not open until the yellow phase of the plan. And right now they're in red. So we are still weeks, maybe even months away from seeing
news about Disneyland.
Yeah.
Not even the opening. Yeah. I don't know. So again, I don't want to be in a position to make those decisions, but when you look at numbers, like California is just hairline above where Florida is. And, we haven't had too many massive disasters since reopening. So Disney's really putting the pressure on California because economically, like, it's going to get bad.
I don't see how you can send a team out to Disney World and your takeaway is to still have these restrictions or waiting that long.
Yeah.
Because, yes, coronavirus is very serious and cases have started going down. If you look at the graph in Florida,
death rates are dropping drastically. That's what happens. You learn things and new therapeutics come out. So there's good news, but
there hasn't been any recorded super spreader event at Disney, which I think is it's the best thing to come out of this as far as Disney, because we've had the layoffs, but the way that they've handled the in-park regulations, I think have been great, and I think it's a model and an example for other theme parks in California that are looking to open to follow, like Knott's Berry Farm, Universal, Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain. So, but Disneyland was really not happy about these announcements that came out today, and they actually released a statement. This is from Ken Potrock, who is the president of the Disneyland Resort. And he says, we have proven that we can responsibly reopen with science-based health and safety protocols strictly enforced at our theme park properties around the world because Japan is open.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the state of California continues to ignore this fact, instead mandating arbitrary guidelines that it knows are unworkable and that hold us to a standard vastly different from other reopened businesses and state-operated facilities. Together with our labor unions, we want to get people back to work, but these state guidelines will keep us shuttered for the foreseeable future, forcing thousands more people out of work, leading to the inevitable closure of small family-owned businesses and irreparably devastating the Anaheim, Southern California community. So, yeah, they came out swinging on that. And beyond a theme park reopening, this has larger consequences.
Absolutely. And then you look at not even theme park, but these, of course, families, and we're talking about not just economically, but when you're keeping people like that from going to work, you start seeing depression increasing. You start to have issues with schooling and childcare. Alcoholism is up in certain areas like this. So there's just lasting emotional impact on the people who want to get to work. It's just sad.
They were absolutely right on the small business side of things, because I know you haven't been to Disneyland, but Disneyland is different than Disney World. Disney World is so far spread out and its own little thing. Disneyland is in Anaheim, and like Anaheim depends on Disneyland to survive, because there are so many hotels within walking distance to Disneyland. Some of them are chains, but some of them are privately owned, and they're going to go under. I mean, this cannot be sustained for this long. So anyway, well, obviously you know how we feel about it, but
so we're running for governor. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And again, this goes beyond how I feel about wanting a Disney park to reopen. This really is starting to boil down to, man, it's
trickling out everywhere. Yeah.
So, anyway. So we will keep you updated if we hear anything else. But that is today's big news story. On a much lighter note, we are going to go. Yeah,
it's lighter, but it's not light.
I mean,
compared to that, anything is lighter.
So tonight's topic is the spookiest Disney attractions. Ooh, yes.
It's Halloween after all, guys.
Right. So we're going to be talking about these. And as we are breaking down our list, comment on what your favorite spooky attraction in any Disney park. It can be any Disney park. It can be Disney World, Disneyland. You've been to Disneyland Paris or Tokyo or Hong Kong?
Japan.
Anywhere. Shanghai. So yeah. Cool. Well, let us begin. So
all right.
As always.
No. You go first this time.
Oh,
remember last time? Because I stole all of your thunder.
Did you? I don't remember.
Well, we were doing
duos.
We were doing dynamic duos, and we each had a huge backup list. And so there's a lot of, I don't have backups. So I'm still going to let you go first. Cause last time, I I took all of yours first, and I felt really bad.
Obviously, this is going to be kind of a shorter list than usual because I mean,
how many do you have?
I have.
We're gonna find out which one of us is brave and which one isn't.
I have 9.
Oh, okay. I have 10.
We actually have Danny's watching, and he goes, "I might need to steal this topic for my Halloween." Hey, no, you don't have to say sorry.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. I love Halloween. Yes,
you like Halloween better than Christmas?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. No, I like I don't know. It's hard. It's really close.
Oh, and our friend on YouTube as well, Disney Addiction, says, "Happy birthday, Susie."
Thank you. Okay.
Love
it.
So,
all right.
So I'm going first, huh? Well,
yeah. Don't mess it up. There's a lot of pressure to go first. I'm telling you.
So I'm trying to figure out an order to actually place this because some things, although maybe spooky themed, aren't really that scary.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna put in Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party just in general.
Ah, okay.
Just in general.
Yeah.
And the party over in Disneyland as well. We'll put them in the same group. So, obviously there's no Halloween party this year, but for years and years and years, and I feel like it kept getting longer length of time.
Well, they kept adding things. They kept adding like extra ticketed like dessert party, whatever within it. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. There are so many things to do. You can dress up in a costume.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the Boo to You parade.
So good.
So good. You can go trick-or-treating in the parks, which I think is super fun. And
so much candy.
And we've talked about it on previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
If, it's just the day we live in, sad enough, that, sometimes it's not the best idea to go wandering out late at night in neighborhoods with children. So this provides a nice, safe environment to go do that and have fun. And you can get lots and lots and lots of candy. So,
oh my gosh, yeah.
So yeah, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, just with their entire list of activities.
Yeah.
Spooky activities.
Spooktivities?
Spooktivities. Made a word. Sure.
All right. First on my list. Also, let's keep a running like calculation of how many of these attractions I have either left during or left in pre-show.
Christoph.
Oh no.
He said, "I'm glad you guys are giving Halloween its due credit. I feel like so many of our friends are getting into Christmas spirit a little too early."
No, you gotta wait till after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is dope. It's just food and sales on TVs and stuff.
Yeah, we go get our Christmas tree right after Thanksgiving. So
yeah. No, none of this November 1st stuff. No, that's too early.
Unless it's the very Merry Christmas party, which I can understand.
Yeah, it's less expensive the earlier you go.
Yes, it is.
All right. So my first one is more scary the younger you are, but I don't care. It's tough to be a bug.
I was on my list for sure.
Definitely walked out of that one our first time. We were not having it. I don't remember where it was in the show. If it was, I think we may have gone to the spiders, and I think that was it. And it was like time to go.
Yep, spiders, and the whole seat effect thing with the bugs running underneath your.
There's always one family when you watch it that has to exit a little early. I feel like someone with a kid who is like old enough, but maybe not like old enough for it. Spooky.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea that was, but yeah, that's kind of a terrifying thing for children of a younger audience.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So in theme with the Halloween party, I am going to go to another event that is not in the parks, but is actually over at the campground, and they've changed some things to it. They didn't do it last year, I don't think.
No.
I think they changed some things, but for years they have actually had the Legend of Sleepy Hollow hayride. So at the campground, and I think it was like about a 15-minute hayride ish, and you have a narrator on the hayride with you who is telling you the story of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman, and it's really fun. It's in the dark. It's spooky and scary.
You're on a horse, drawn carrot. You're
on a horse, drawn carrot.
Yeah.
And then, spoiler alert, the Headless Horseman comes galloping down the trail and starts chasing you. It is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah. I've never done it, unfortunately. I love that idea, though. And I would hope that could be back next year. I
really do hope that it does come back. It's one of those things that it is like pure Disney magic. Like it doesn't take a lot of effort. There isn't really any special effect. Well, I mean, Headless Horseman, but like
you build it up more in your mind, which is why like Alfred Hitchcock movies and things like that, the suspense is scarier than the actual thing. Yeah.
But so the Headless Horseman obviously is a big part of that. And you can actually see him in the Not So Scary Halloween Party parade. He actually leads the parade. He's the first thing that comes down the street. Remember seeing it one time, and there's this kid that yells out, "Mommy, where's his head?"
Like, that's the point.
That's the point. So
nice.
They, holding the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a head. So
love it. That's such a cool effect too. Yep. All right. I took one off my list so that we're 9 and 9. It wasn't really scary. I had it there technically if we wanted to be rounded numbers with 10. But so next, this is another one where part of my party left in the line. Everest. I think Everest is scary. Oh, it's fast. It's backwards. It's in the dark. There's a drop. There's a Yeti. It's like it's an intense kind of. I wouldn't say it's like haunted, spooky, but it's kind of an intense attraction. The first time we rode it, it had just come out. Yeti was still doing his thing, not stationary. And the kids in front of us in line were like, "Our favorite part's when it goes backwards." And both my parents said, "Huh? It is what?" So they got out of line because they weren't going to deal with that. But yeah, that was. I think Expedition Everest can be a little scary.
Okay.
Told you we're gonna find out which one of us is a chicken. And it's this one.
Danny agrees. He says, "Kind of spooky." Not gonna lie. So
yeah.
All right, you got some people in your camp there. Very unconventional, but I like it.
Thank you.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and put Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because, for the sole purpose of the end scene, it is the only Disney attraction where you actually go to the bad place. So,
nice.
But, yeah, I mean, it's actually funny seeing some of the, because it's not at Disney World anymore, but it still is at Disneyland. And the little devils that they had in the final scene in Disney World have like gone on auctions and
so
for tons and tons of money. But yeah, I feel like if you, especially if you're a small child and like, you're going through that ride and, you get hit by a truck and then the next thing you know, you're surrounded by flame.
Engulfed in flame. Oh, yeah, that's a ride.
All right, Mr. Toad.
Are you back to me?
Back to you.
All right. I did not ever do this ride itself, but every video I have ever seen of it is creepy, and it's Alien Encounter. Sorry.
It's my number one. Like, that's number one. That's like
I only had it low because I haven't done it. So I get like secondhand spooky from YouTube.
It's the scariest thing they've ever done.
It's a completely unnecessary. I don't understand where in the Disney brand this really fits in, but
All right, so let's hold our conversation
until because you've done it
until the end. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait because I want to hear your like horror stories.
I have many thoughts on.
Oh gosh.
So, okay. So next up for me, and I'm at this point I'm kind of going in order of spookiness.
Okay.
I'm going to put Haunted Mansion.
Fair. It's called the Haunted Mansion.
It's the Haunted Mansion. It's spooky, but it's not really scary.
Yeah.
It's more fun, more comical. So, but I mean, it's a classic. So many of the effects that we see in other rides. One that we'll also mention here in a little bit. It's using Haunted Mansion. So
I know it's one.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, we've had one movie of the Haunted Mansion, and it looks like we may have another one. But there's some really fun characters like that that have been developed from this ride that have kind of there's a life of their own, like a cast member. Like, I don't know if you guys know the story of some of the backstory on the ghost. They were never really written by the Imagineers, and over time, cast members like wrote down in like this book these elaborate stories of some of the ghosts in the mansion, and a lot of that you actually see in the movie that they made. But yeah, it's fun. So I mean, Constance Hatchaway and Master Gracie.
Yeah.
Hitchhiking ghosts, and
it's iconic.
Yep. Madame Leota.
Love her.
Little Leota.
Tiny. Okay, on my list. Okay. I have Mission Space. Okay, like I'm pretty sure someone died on Mission Space at some point. Didn't they? Or there was a serious medical
I think somebody did die.
I am claustrophobic.
I don't think. Well, I don't know if they died on the ride, but they
went into a medical episode,
emergency, and then they later died.
Yeah.
They've toned it down.
It's unnecessary. I know, but like that's just unnecessary. And I know they added the other line, which is good, but no. It's just like first of all, who likes Mission Space? I'm sorry. It's just not something to me that a lot of people are itching to go do. And if you do, I think you're very brave, because I think it's scary.
I have a love-hate relationship with that attraction.
What's the love part?
Lieutenant Dan. At one point. Come on. Lieutenant Dan was, on an attraction.
Lieutenant Dan, why are you on a scary ride?
And then hate is just, it's not good.
Because of what it is, yeah.
Although I do like the updated graphics, especially the one on the green one. So now if you do green, you have orange, which is the more intense, green, less intense. The green one where they don't actually spin the centrifuge. It's a different mission, and it's almost like soaring around the world, but over the world, because you're flying over the globe in your spaceship, and you get to see cool things. So,
no, hard pass.
Okay. Next up for me, I am going to put. Already said Haunted Mansion. Forgot to cross that off. I'm going to say Magic Journeys. You don't know what that is, do you?
I don't think I do.
So it was the Epcot 3D film in the Magic Eye Theater.
Okay.
Which was later replaced by Captain EO.
Right.
And then Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yes.
And then currently the Pixar.
Pixar. Was there anything in between? Was there?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
It did go back to Captain EO for a little bit. They did bring that back. But it also went from Epcot over to Magic Kingdom for a time as well. And so you say, well, that's not a scary attraction. Some of you may be thinking that. Well, there's this one thing in it, right? So it's your classic 80s 3D
Well, sounds
movie,
scary, yeah.
where, you know, certain objects will come out towards you. And in this case, in the middle of this video, there is this witch. Well, first there's bats. There's these bats, and then you hear this witch's cackle. And then this like bluish green witch shows up in the middle of your screen.
What was it called?
Magic Journeys. The music is actually is actually kind of iconic. It's in Epcot forever. So anyway, this
I don't like
witch's
that.
hands, like these gnarled hands, start reaching out towards you like this, and then lightning shoots out of her hands.
No.
And it's so bizarre, and as a small child, it is definitely terrifying. So it's way up on my list of things that like
traumatized.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Magic Journeys, the witch. Magic Journeys.
I'm really glad I didn't see that. I mean, I just saw it, but like I said, impression.
Go look up the video. There's like one full-length video on YouTube, and keep in mind that, you know, it's super old.
Yeah,
it's also
quality.
2D. It's 2D, obviously, but just imagine this in 3D coming at you towards your face.
No.
So hard pass.
All right. Number five. Next on the list. Snow White Scary Adventure.
That's my next one too. So
oh my gosh.
Get this
why? Well, first of all, why are you putting the word scary in the name of an attraction for children?
Oh, well,
based on like
reason for that.
Because it's scary.
Well, originally, I think it was just Snow White's Adventures.
And they needed to tell everybody that this is terrifying.
Scary.
But my point is, why do a ride like that? Why do a ride or an attraction that is going to be terrifying based on like a 20-second scene in Snow White? I just don't know what the motivation here is.
I always loved the concept of this ride. Because you go in with the expectation that, you know, you're going to see Snow White, and you really, you are Snow White. It was a concept that was new, I think, to Disney. And I actually appreciate what they did with it.
Something different.
And it's still around. I mean, it has survived 65 years, I think, almost. I don't think that was an opening day. Maybe it was.
I don't know. I think that I agree the novelty of it is there. That is just not something that as a child I want to experience, or I don't know. I like that it's something different, but it is scary and it's worthy of being on the list. Looking
at it as an adult, like it's comical. But you know, as a kid, and you're riding through this, and you know, like the witch's back is turned to you, and she's like over her cauldron, and then she turns around, and it's like this distorted witch.
That's a really good impression.
I mean, but there's like 8 of them throughout the ride, like back to back to back to back. Then she tries to like crush you with a boulder, and it's kind of terrifying. Definitely spooky. So, and it's actually getting some love over at Disneyland. At least they were changing it up, giving some upgrades. So, be interesting to see what they do with that. Okay, so that was yours and mine. So we are actually back to you.
How are we back to me if you went first?
Because you had
really good at this, aren't we?
You had Snow White Scary Adventures, and then I also had Snow White Scary Adventures.
Okay.
And now it's back to you.
Okay, so I have just the pre-show for Haunted Mansion. And I definitely left this also as a child. We didn't even get to the second room door being closed. Like I walked in there and I was like, nope. All the cast members, you know, with how they are when they're on stage and in character and just very monotoned, and some play into it a little bit more than others. And so they creeped me out. And the first room, I was like, oh, it's spooky. It's called Haunted Mansion. My dad's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fun. Like, there's nothing fun about this so far.
Didn't get past the stretching room.
Nope. Didn't even get to that part. The doors hadn't closed. And I was like, shut it down. And so we turned around and left as people were still coming in. Yeah, so we tried.
Exit, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I was like 7 or 8. But I mean, the rest of the Haunted Mansion, like, yeah, it has like its spooky moments, and I think it's worth noting. But that pre-show is it sets the stage very well. And of course, the ride becomes more fun after you have died and fallen out of the, you know, attic. However you want to interpret everything there. But the first part of the ride is intense, but that pre-show just was traumatizing. I eventually got over it. I'm okay now, I promise.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, next up for me is one of my favorite attractions, Tower of Terror.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely way up on the spooky list. You know, you got the aesthetic of the abandoned hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Not just abandoned, like people literally left their luggage, got up and left. So I think that adds to the mystique of the ride. And then, of course, the ride itself, you know, you're riding up in the elevator and then the door opens. Then you go through the 5th dimension. No. You open the door first and it's the hallway with the Pepper's ghost effects. And then you start seeing the ghosts and the little girl singing. It's amazing. And then you go to the 5th dimension after that with the giant eye, and and then the rest is up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. One day, Susie, we'll get you on it one day. So I think it's spooky, but it's one of my favorite attractions ever.
All right. My next 3 are attractions that absolutely just terrify me.
Well, go ahead and get them out of the way because I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Obviously my number 1 is still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We need to talk about that, but let me get these out of the way because they actually may not be scary. Okay. Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay, look at the title of the episode. The Spookiest.
It's spooky. It's so scary. Disney roller coasters are scary. I can't do them anymore. I think it's scary. Like,
I'll give you the Yeti, but you know, although Steven Tyler.
Oh yeah, he's frightening. Oh gosh.
On second thought.
Okay, I don't think you're gonna let me slide with this next one though. Astro Orbiter. I rode this one time.
Well, good night, everybody.
I rode it one time, and I was so scared.
This list was so good until 5 seconds ago.
I wanted to. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. I was seconds away from like yelling to the cast member just to turn it off. I was so, because it's so high in the air and you're tilted. I thought I was going to fall out, and I wasn't even like a child. I was like 14. It's like almost crying. I was like, stop. But they did it because they couldn't hear me. And then it was done, and I've never done it again. It's just too high. And I was like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. But then like you're going in a circle, and so you're like this, and I thought I was gonna fall out, and that was really scary.
Take it you have never ridden it ever again.
Nope.
Okay.
Not a chance. Okay. And then my number 1 is Tower of Terror for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons.
I can't do it, guys. I just
You
can't.
handle the astro orbiter.
No.
But one day it will happen.
Okay. Sure.
We just need 492 more patrons.
Okay.
Everybody listening, get on that. So
please don't sign up for our Patreon.
Shut up. Yes, we need that.
That's one of our like milestones. We have different things that we'll do when we reach different subscriber numbers, and yeah, that one number, yeah, is I have to ride Tower of Terror. Can I do Astro Orbiter instead?
No, absolutely not.
All right, go ahead. Talk about Alien Encounter.
Okay, Alien Encounter.
I've ruined the episode.
I love how Alien Encounter is way down on your list, and Astro Orbiter.
I didn't do it. I haven't done it. Just from videos and what I know, it's scary. But describe actually being there in the actual experience.
Okay, so for people who didn't do Alien Encounter but did Stitch's Great Escape,
yeah,
it's the same room. It's almost the same thing, but it was just done differently in a more terrifying way with a more terrifying monster. So Stitch, you know, a lot of that attraction is done with some light on. There are some dark moments, but mostly light on. Alien Encounter primarily was pitch black. So you're experiencing all these things, relying on your senses, and you know,
you're disoriented.
Yeah, a little bit. And you know, you're in the same seats. You have the same harness that's like pressing down on your shoulders. So you know that's the alien that's where he's like right on you. And instead of, you know, chili dog breath, it's the alien like breathing on you with sound effects. And there's like a very light, warm, moist breath, and then there was like a heavy one. So there was that. The spray effect that they had, like the drool of the alien, but also the blood of the person that it killed up in the ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
And then they had these tubes that would like blow air, and it would be the alien like licking you, like licking the back of your neck. And that was the most intrusive one of all of them. But yeah, literally people running out screaming. Good times.
Wow. What was the reasoning behind just to have something in, you know, I guess that's 4D. I guess what is the stuff like that?
Yeah,
whatever that's called.
I mean, there weren't any screens. But what
do you call it when there's anything like that you experience through your different senses? Just something more realistic like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that. Terrifying.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the alien was really gross looking too. It wasn't Stitch. It was something that was actually kind of scary.
Yeah.
So again, there are videos of it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've seen them.
It's
why? Oh, also, the alien room on Great Movie Ride when I was little was a little spooky, and I'd seen.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
The strobe and everything. Yeah, gosh, Disney and their aliens, dude.
That's an intense scene. But going back to Alien Encounter real quick, you know, that was just a interesting ride, attraction for the Magic Kingdom. And I think it was partially put in to appeal to an older audience. I think you had a lot of people going over to you know, they're like, oh, I don't want to go to Magic Kingdom or Disney. There's just a lot of kiddie rides. Well, here you go. Yeah. Alien Encounter. That would be one of the most interesting decisions ever made for a Disney park, was to put that smack dab in the middle of Tomorrowland. So
yeah, that is a choice.
So yeah, well, there's our spooky list.
Spooky.
Quote unquote. Thanks.
Whatever. Everyone is, look, some people are just can't handle some things. To each their own.
Right. Well, this has been a fun episode. I'm actually looking forward to next week's episode. I think it's going to be fun. Should we give a teaser? Should we tell what we're doing?
One way to put it. Ooh, I don't want to put it that way, because let's put it this way. No, okay. It's not political.
Right.
What we're doing. It's not, I swear, you guys.
So,
but after Halloween, there's a big event, but we're not.
We know that the election is coming up. We know that the election is coming up. In fact, the night of the election, we are not going to have a live show, because we feel very strongly that you who are of the age to vote should vote. And, it's a privilege to vote in our country, and that's for Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Green Party, whatever. Having the right to vote for who leads our country is, great. And it's our right as citizens, and we should take part in that. So we don't want to distract you from that at all on that day. So we are just going to we will have a podcast later that week. It'll just be audio only. Yeah. So we will not have a live show, because I know some of you will probably potentially still be at the polls, depending on what time you get off work, depending on what state you live in, especially our listeners out in the West Coast. So yes. So important things need to be done that day. So you go take care of those, and we'll just post something later on that week. But leading up to the election, we thought it would be fun to do a fun topic of a past thing that took place in the Disney parks that involve elections for president, but maybe not in the way that you think that it is.
Yeah, I wish I could register for this person's party.
Right. So yeah, that'll be next week. So
yeah, we're just gonna have fun. It'll be really cool. Some Disney history you guys may not be as familiar with. We like talking about those things.
So yeah, come check us out. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, you can find us. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere that you like to listen to your podcast, either at home or in your commute to work. Just search for us and you'll be able to find us. Also, you can find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under different handles, but just search for the Imagineers Disney Podcast and we will pop up there as well. We enjoy engaging with you guys during the week. It's one of our favorite things outside of actually doing the podcast is interacting with you in social media or through your email conversations. We've had a lot of those lately. And then also we got to give a shout out to our patrons. So big thank you to those who support our show. If you would like to support the show, you can find us here. We're patreon.com/Imagineers. And we have tiers starting at $2 a month. So for $2 a month, you get exclusive content that no one else will see.
And this last one was really good. Matt really brought it this last episode.
I really
Matt
did.
had some really cool stuff. And if you want to see it, it's $2 a month.
And I think I do want to tease it a little bit. So just to kind of give you an example of some of the extra deep dives that we do
deep tracks
for our patrons. This past week, we recorded our October monthly video. and we looked at our past Disney trip photos. So there are some really good ones. And there was one in particular that we kind of honed in on because I have questions. I have lots of questions about it.
Yeah.
And it's based on how old I am and who I am taking my picture with. So I'm going to pull this one up. So this is just a teaser of the kind of things that you can get as a patron. So this is me and our family friend, Jennifer. And there's Brer Bear.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and the things we wanted to point out in this photo is where he was. For those of you listening, I believe we accurately pinpointed this to the what is now the Main Street Theater. So to the left of the image behind Brer Bear, you can see the white columns. So I think that's the porch area. And then immediately around the corner is the white doors that enter into the shop that is there now. And then you can see the flowers there. So I think we're standing near that ramp.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Stroller parking is pretty much where it is right now. So immediately to the right as you enter into Magic Kingdom, which is an interesting place for this character because
in general, yeah.
Because normally you can now see him in Frontierland. Occasionally he'll be in that dance party with the Country Bears and all that in Frontierland. But you know, it's a Splash Mountain character. It's a Song of the South character. Well, in this photo, I am probably two years old. Well, I was born in 86. So this is around 88, 89.
At the latest.
Splash Mountain did not open in Disney World until 1992.
So our question is, why is he there at all? Obviously, he's not representing an attraction. The only thing at this point, because that is years before the attraction opened, it's not like they were teasing it, in the next 6 months or something. The only thing he could possibly be there representing
is Song of the
South.
So, yeah, I have lots of questions.
Why would be a big one.
Yeah.
For something that they worked so hard to cover and to hide and to change with the integration into worked hard, quote unquote, more or less remove that element of the character's history into Splash Mountain. They tried. But why is he there? There's no attraction. The only reference would be Song of the South, which no one really had access to.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So I know of a couple people that I could potentially reach out to maybe get some answers on that. But it is definitely interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see the rest of that episode, which we'll be posting soon as well, come join us on Patreon.
Yeah.
For all of our fun things. So, well, I think that is going to do it for tonight. So thank you everyone for listening, for watching. We really do enjoy doing this every week. It's one of the highlights of our week. And we appreciate all the love, support, and feedback that we get from you guys each and every week. And we look forward to coming back at you next week with another episode. So until then, friends, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.